Hey, welcome back to the It's All Good mining channel. And I'm Brian, and I'm back. I ran my errand, and I wanted to pick up where we left off. So let's get right to it. Let's see, I think I zoomed in here a little bit. I did. Hopefully this will help you see better. And I'll just use a little bit of light, and that just blasts out. Need to figure out how to balance that. All right, we are working on this one right here. Putting the last of the heat sinks on. It's a little bit harder to put this big guy on because he's going to take the most heat. Just going to dive right into it though. Ooh. All right, that's the only problem with running so much more air is that it can blast it right out of spot. Crazy thing was, it was hot enough. Okay, there's the flux popping out the side. And we're good. Okay. Good. Set my temperature down to 420. There we go. Look at that. Okay. Yeah, good. All right, put a little bit of cool air on it on my fan block. Put my weighted thing up out of the way. All right, so we need to get these three chips, 55, 54, 53, off the board, and we're going to start with 55. We're going to just take it off. I think it's probably a good chip, but I want to just start from scratch with that chip. So we'll go ahead and pull that one. I was thinking about it while I was in the car a minute ago, driving. And the question someone might be asking is, why are you working from 55? Why aren't you working like in the signal path, right? Because here's number one. There's chip number one. And by the way, if you forgot, it gets all blurry when I do that. I need an autofocus camera. Anyway, this one has a big gaping hole in it. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. So it's missing the silicone, the top layer of the silicone there, but it actually, I think the chip is good. The fact that in my last stream, we got all the way through to chip 52 tells me that chip's probably okay. So I'm not going to worry about that chip just yet. We're going to stay focused on these. But anyway, the signal path comes in from the controller. Comes down through these traces. That's chip 1, chip 5. It comes, the traces go across here. This is chip 10, 11, 15's down here, 16, 20, 21 up here, 25 down here, 26. So anyway, it zigzags through, right? So you would think we would work in order. So this would be 51, 52, 53, 54, 55. But the voltage for the domain comes in from the bottom along here. Each one of these domains, i.e. each one of these columns of chips, since we're looking at it this way, each one of these columns is a domain, and the voltage comes in from the bottom, goes to the top. Flip that over. Your controllers, your LDOs, and I think they're called PLLs, the 1.8 volt LDOs are down here. So since I know that the voltage is not going through, that it's getting stuck, starts having problems in these chips right in here. Let's fix it from this end up. So that's why I'm working it the way I am. Just FYI. So we're going to strip off 55 because 55 did not pass we still, even after I tried to reflow it, we still did not get the 0.8 volts to come on the other side of the 55. So we'll dive into that. And let me go to the overhead. There we go. Yeah, that's better. This is the camera I should have used. Okay. So we're going to go to that. Now, remember, I hang my board off the side, so we're going to go to bench view. Oh, hey, look. Be sure to, if you enjoy the content, hit the like button. I'd appreciate it if you give me a subscribe, and if you want to be notified next time I go live or something, hit the notification bell. All right, cool. Looks like my automation stuff is not working. Let me turn that one off. Okay. I'll keep playing with that. All right, let's get this guy off of here, though. Number 55, which is right there. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get my microscope in place because I solder and desolder using the microscope. There we go. All right, so there. Okay, that looks good. We'll zoom out. I'll grab my little plate down here. This does two things for me. One, it keeps it from falling off since it's hanging, as I'll be pressing. And the second thing it does is it helps to heat sink those chips. All right, let's go see. I wonder, what is the microscope? Is the microscope a better look? I think the microscope's a better look for this. There we go. All right, so real quick, go back over to here. Oh, can't see it there. Settings on my hot air station. 420 and 60 of 120. Okay. So we're gonna get. I don't solder or work on chips for boards for a couple of days. I just can't find all my tools. All right, let's put this back up here. We'll orient this a little bit differently. Reason being is it's just easier if I can come in with my tweezers on the side. Okay, so here's what I'm talking about. So I got my tweezers. I'll come in here on the side, grab it like that. Okay. See if I can adjust that focus for you a little bit. There we go. Good, good, good. We don't need flux, even though there is some flux on there. We don't need flux to take it off. Let's go ahead and get the back underneath. Okay, you can see my hand down there. Good, good, good. All right. Just waiting for the unit to get hot and for the solder to get all flowy. And then this chip will come right off. See the solder on the top of the chip is getting soft there. Okay. Just waiting for the chip to move. Just wiggling my tweezers a little bit. So when it's ready, it's ready. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, that chip definitely needs to come off and get cleaned up. Look at all that crud in there. Wow, okay. Let's We're going to clean it up. So here we go. I'm just going to stay on the microscope. I think that's probably the best view right now. In case you're wondering, I'm using the AMScope HC210 microscope camera. It is not my favorite. Oh, here's a warning. So you notice whenever I put this alcohol on here, you notice how it was sizzling, right? So you got to be careful when it's still that hot that you don't lift up any of the resistors. Ask me how I know. All right. So now that it's cooled off a little bit, now I can kind of do some cleaning. Throw that Q-tip away, reach over here, get another Q-tip. Maybe I'll get a better microscope stand. All right, just kind of get the crud off. Okay, we're going to, since I don't know what the history of this board is, I'm going to get solder braid. I'm going to use my, let's go over here for a second. I'm going to use my ceramic tweezers, which if you look on brianrecommends.tech, you can find a link to these tweezers. I'll also need to update my my description, so you can find that website in my description. All right, so anyway, let's dive back in. We'll put some flux on there. Now, I like the MG flux, so I'm going to keep using the MG flux. When it's really bad, I've got some Kester with more. It's got more rosin in it. So, but for this, the MG chemical no clean flux is fine. All right, so we're going to just put that in here. Start. Now here is a tip, by the way. I try not to drag my solder braid, because I find that when you do that, you harm the. I find that tends to really harm the solder mask. And like right there at the tip of my thing, you can see where solder mask is coming off. So I might need to actually do a repair on that one. See if I can avoid doing it though. Okay, just cleaning up the pad. Cool, cool, cool. So nice big wedge tip. This is pretty much the tip I use all the time. And there we go. Good, 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 good. Okay. I'll take my leaded solder now. Give a little bit more flux. And I'm just going to put fresh solder on those pads. It's kind of neat when you do this because you just can drag the solder. Okay, that third one down. I'm just looking at my chip pinout. Okay, that's VSS, so that's probably, it's more like a ground than anything. Good, good, good. Okay. Oh, goodness gracious. We'll have to take some of that solder back off. And some of that solder off too while I'm at it. I just put way too much solder on there. All right, but I can push it around. I can sink it through to the other side. All right, let's get a little bit of that solder off. Okay. There we go. Good. I don't need a whole lot of solder on here because there's solder on. I've already pre-tinned the chips. Cool. All right, so I'm good with that. Slap a little bit of more flux on there. Good, good, good. Now, let's stop real quick. Let's go to the overhead. Move that out of the way. And grab my bag of chips. There they are. So, I tend to work through my chips. I test all my chips out. I make sure that they're good. And once I know that they're good, then I put them in this handy dandy bag and I pull them out when I need them. Now I primarily use used chips because they're quite a bit cheaper. This batch right here that I'm working with came from AliExpress. Now, sadly, because the last batch I got, when I got finished testing them, only 25% were good. So they ended up being about half the price of a normal brand new chip. Took 3 weeks to get. But I've got some other chips that came in from Canada, and we'll try those out next. Okay. So we go back to the spot there. Good, I'll line it all up. Yeah, buddy. Let's go back to our microscope. There we go. I'm gonna grab my hot air station. Again, it's set at 420. Same thing it was before. When I took it off, check my orientation of my chip. Okay, make sure that little dot there lines up with the dot on the corner of the chip. Start heating up the pad before I set the chip on there. Okay, I'm just looking for everything to get all melty. Yeah, there we go. Cool. And I used to get really worried about like position, right? Like, oh my gosh, gotta get it all lined up. Wow, screw that. Get it generally in place, and then you just push it around. Okay, I probably put too much flux down. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay, look at that solder ball. Yeah, I'll just push that solder ball out of the way. Tap, tap, tap. Okay, those are all looking good. That doesn't look so good. Got another solder ball. Hey, let's push this solder ball down this way. Push it on around. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Come on, there we go. Okay. Pulled the heat off because it was taking longer than I wanted it to. Good and shiny. Good, good, good. We got a little bit more of a flow going. Cool. All right. I just throw my hot iron over my hot air station on my leg there. Pressing down. Turn the cooling fan on. Okay. Get rid of that solder ball. And get rid of that solder ball. Okay. Now, one thing that I see that causes me concern, oh crap, right down here, this trace right there, it doesn't have a nice pretty ball on it. And that that's that trace that the solder mask was really kind of weak. So we'll see how that works. A couple of tricks we can do, and we can do it while you can actually watch me do it with the meter. I'll put my meter into resistance mode, or actually continuity mode. I'll leave the beeper on. Get a nice sharp tip. I didn't even think about doing this beforehand, but we can do it now. I could have verified chip 55 easier. Okay, so you come in here and you, okay. I'll tell you what, this board's hot. Let's slide it up there for more cooling. Good. I'm gonna just check here to here. Okay, good. We got 0 ohms. Good. Let's check the 0.8 volt. Okay, good. We got 0 ohms. That's great. Wow, we're at it. Let's just check it on the next chip. This will tell me whether or not the power is flowing through. Great. I'm gonna go ahead and jump out and test. All right, see what I'm show you what I'm doing here. Hopefully you can see it all. We go to my full microscope. Maybe we can see it there. Okay, so yep, you can barely see it on each side of the screen. What I'm doing is I'm testing the 1.8 all the way through, right? So, because 53, this is chip 53 here in the middle, had this problem. And chip 53 is not flowing that, but let's check and see if it'll do the other. Okay, it's got 52 ohms, so there's something wrong with this chip. I come back here and I check this again. All right, let's save ourselves a little bit of grief and let's go ahead and take out chip 53. All right. That did not do. I like to keep a note of what I do. Get my pen. This is over here. And what do you know? We are live again. I like that. Yeah, that's working good. Okay, cool. So replace 55. 55. Replace 53. Okay, so let's go after 53. Let's get this one taken care of real quick. We're going to need to pull it back over here, get back over this. Okay, you can see I pulled the board out over the thing. You lost me in my, if you look up there in the top right-hand corner, you see you've lost where I'm working, but you can see in my bench cam, which is on the right-hand side, middle window there, you can see me working on this chip. Okay, great. Set that back there. Okay, good. Let's get this chip, turn the cooling fan off, because I don't want to be fighting. Now, if you've seen the channel ASIC Repair Canada, that guy's got a hole in his desk, which I think is kind of cool. I'm not willing to cut a hole in my desk, but I think it's really cool. I just hold my iron underneath the board, hanging off the table. That's how I saw the Russians do it. They seem to have this down pretty pat. They don't even need a microscope. Those guys are monsters. Incredibly awesome to watch them work. Of course, can't understand them, so you just have to watch and observe. All right, just there we go. It's loose. Oh yeah. All right, just taking a look while I'm here. Oh, well, there's the problem. I can see. Look at all that. Man, that is ugly. Bet that chip is bad. Okay, cool. Let's do the same thing we did before. We're going to clean it up. We're going to desolder first. Now, I'm going to cut off a little bit of my wick. So I got a nice clean piece of solder-free wick. Grab my iron. And here we go. The other thing, make sure you start with a clean tip. If you don't start with a clean tip, then you end up cleaning your tip on the soldering braid, which usually ends up filling up the solder braid. Okay. The other nice thing about this orientation, kind of a top to bottom orientation, is that you're less likely to bump the resistors. So you're less likely to knock the resistors off. Now, that being said, I try to turn my iron so that it's not going to hit those resistors, because it's easy to do. And then you're replacing resistors like I did in the last stream. Now you can also put the solder wick coming in from the other direction, right? Coming from the top of the microscope. Like that. Just want to get all the old solder, or as much of the old solder, off as possible. Clean it up with alcohol now, 99% isopropyl. I got, oh, there we go. There's a Q-tip. Okay. Clean everything up, make it look pretty. All right, good. See, this one's got more solder mask on it, so in fact, this is interesting. So this one, the third leg isn't even going anywhere, so it's fine. And that's not really the third leg. That is actually pin 19, because pin 1 is here. So yeah, that's pin 19. Okay. All right, there is enough lag that watching the screen gives me motion sickness. So that's not good. Okay. So I will keep my eyes in the microscope. Okay. Just give I just, oh, should have just left it where it was, right? All right, let's put a little flux. I'll tell you what, let me get my out of the way. All right, so a little bit of flux. All right, when the MG chemical, when it doesn't want to flow, I just heat it up. Just heat the tip a little bit. You're not gonna, don't spend too much time doing that, otherwise it'll drip out. Okay, there we go. See, just okay, good, cool. Now then, let's grab my iron. Clean the tip again. Grab my little piece of solder that I pulled off. And I just want to tin those. Oh, see how they just show a little bit of a bump. Now, if you get a solder bridge where two of them come together, just make sure you have enough flux on there, and then you just drag across it. Just kind of just let your soldering iron just float across there. It'll be fine. All right, cool. I'll clean my tip off because I don't want too much solder on there. All right, and then just a dab on there. Okay, just a little bit on the top. There we go. And just a little bit. And maybe just a little bit here. Just ever so slightly. Just want enough that see a little bit of fresh solder. That's all. Keep in mind you got a great big heat sink on the other side, so there we go. Perfect. I'll just smear that around. Okay, good. Got a little glob there. Perfect. Okay, so no more flux, because I don't want it to be all extra goopy like it was on the last one. Okay, I'm getting some fresh chip out. Here's a chip. I like the one that says okay. So here's the thing. When I'm marking my chips, I go through them right. I do all these tests. When the tests are all positive, then they get an okay. If there's a question mark, maybe one of my values is just a little bit on the iffy side, I'll put a 1x there. And if I pulled the chip, and I know it already, if I pulled it once, but it still tests okay, I'll put a 2x on there. And if I take a 2x chip off, I will throw it away. It's just not worth the headache. There are some ASIC chip testers out there on the market. I can't find much documentation on them, but at nearly $1,000, which you're supposed to be able to do all of the 1397s, which are what these are, 1396s. So they're supposed to be able to test the chips for the S19 series too. All right, let's get this back and going. I just don't want to spend another $1,000 yet. Got a handy dandy tester that still not happy about. I feel like I bet on the wrong horse there. All right, so here we go. We are just putting some heat into it. Here we go. Okay. All right. Okay, I put my chip just out of view of the camera. And I'm just waiting for this to get melty. Shiny. I can tell. Oh yeah, there we go. All right, so now that it's melty and shiny, bring that in. Okay. Oh, yeah, see it? A little bit of flux, so it wants to float. Okay, just give it a tap down. That'll push some of the flux out. Goodness gracious. Okay. There we go. I'm just waiting to see the bubbles get all bubbly. Okay, I probably could have cleaned that up a little bit better. Okay. Looks like we got bubbles all the way around. Yeah, shiny little solder balls. Okay. Turn on the cooling fan. Turn on this. Keeping just a little bit of pressure. Not too much, because if I put too much, it'll tip the board over. Okay, good. Grab my hot air, put it back on its stand, let it cool off. This is a great time to hit my hotkey. I don't know if I can find my hotkey. Hey, there you go. Give me a like if you like the video content. Be sure to click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell to be notified when I go live the next time. awesome sauce. Here we go. I'll slide that out of place. Flip over to the overhead cam. All right, just while I'm letting that cool a little bit, I'm gonna grab some. Let's turn that down. Now, just probably okay, but okay. My luck lately. Okay, cool. I want to make sure I'm not taking off. Man, that's dirty. Wow. All right, let's get another Q-tip. I got plenty of them. Don't be afraid to use Q-tips. Okay. So we replaced 55 and we replaced 53. So let's find out now. Remember, I've got my meter set to continuity. Come down here, put this probe on the where it should be 1.8 volts, and I'm going to come all the way up here. Oh, sweet! I like it. I like it. All the way to the top. Come on, here we go. Oh yeah, that's it. We've got it now. Let's check the 0.8. That's the other voltage we need. Uh-oh. No dice. 55. Why? Oh, okay. There's something about that, because if I jump over to this one, okay, it's 50. It's 49. Okay, the one over by that is 60. Let me show you what's going on here. There is something. Let's jump over to the microscope. So there is something about, so see how the trace is broken right there? Trace is broken right there because it goes to the other side of the board and comes, or it goes into the board somewhere and it comes back out. And usually there's about a 50 ohm, something goes there. I don't know. I've looked on the other side of the board and I just can't figure it out. But I know that somehow voltage gets on this side. So it is what it is. Yay. The good news is we've got it all the way through to here. So, and we got all the heat sinks on the back, right? So let's get this over to here. Awesome. I like it. Let's turn on our tester. And let me find the negative. Remember, on the S17 plus, the negative goes closest to the data cable. All right, and then the positive goes furthest. I just give it a little bit of a tap. Tap, tap, tap. We're good. Okay. Last thing I need to do is tell this thing to connect. Okay, this is weird. Sometimes when sometimes my application when the application is running, there we go. Now it's connected, right? Good, good, good. Go back here, put this back in place. Yay. Okay, cool. Looks like we're good. Let me just adjust my camera there. I got a camera facing my power supply. That's how I get the amperage and the voltage. Okay, so I'm going to turn my voltmeter up to, or my digital multimeter over to DC voltage, because that's what I want to measure. And we're going to go ahead. I've got that check. All right, we're going to hit the start button and we're going to see what we get. Okay, it would have been wonderful if we had gotten, okay, good, 1.8 volts there, 0.8. All right, so we've got that. That's really good. Yay, us. Okay, we have really good progress. Let's check the rest of them real quick. 7.9. Okay, yep. Oh, let's go this way. Okay. Super fantastic. Okay. This is great. Looks like now we've got at least so far. Oh, yep. There you go. Okay, yep. I wish there was a faster way to do this. But for me, other than testing at the top of the domain, which is bottom of your screen, because I work my boards upside down, I guess. Okay, yep. Good. And then last but not least, this one may cause me a little bit of grief. Okay, so it's looking like I might have a problem. Nope. I got it there, and this one. Okay, so we're good all the way through. Just put my hand on top, make sure nothing's like crazy hot. It's not. So now what we're going to do is we're going to grab my jumpers. All right, so jumpers are just a set of leads that are together, and the cool part is, so I had one that you could take the tip off, so I just stuck that into the part that goes in the meter. Now what I do with this is I go to the RO, and then I go to the 1.8 volt. Okay, so I just shorted, and when I did that, I got 40 chips. So we know we're good to 40. Okay, but we're not good. Oh. So let's see. Can you see it on the screen? Nope, there's nothing that tells you that it has stopped. But on my screen here, which you can't see very good. No, I can't get it in screen. It only goes 180 seconds, and then it just shuts off. Okay, but hint to us on the screen, we notice that if we look at our amperage, we're 0. So I'm going to turn it back on again. And I know I'm just going to double check. Again, we checked 40, good. Should be able to get to 50. Oh, baby, there's 50. Can we get to 60? All right, so somewhere in there is our problem. So we just jump to the other side, right? Get on that RO, and we get on the, there we go. So that's 45. Okay, so that means I've tested all the way through there. So it's 46. Wait a minute, didn't we get to 50? Yeah, we got to 50. So let's go down. Let's just walk down through here. Okay. Okay, so 50 doesn't work, but 51, oh, I'm sorry. I can't jump 51. I can get through here, but this chip fails. So, all right, let's go back. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, I just didn't have the pad on. Good. Good. Let's go to 52. Okay, 52. We're getting there. 53. This is the chip I replaced. Okay. So, looks like that. I want to check that one under the microscope. Okay, that's really interesting because we should have gotten... Huh, okay. Let's check our... Take the voltage off. Let's check. So we got signal. What did we do? I get confused. So we can jump through... So this is 51, 52. Good. So we got through 52. All right, 52 chips. You see that down the bottom. Good. But when we go to here, we don't have it. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to check my DC voltage. I just want to make sure that we've got voltage on that chip. We do have good voltage on that chip. Now I'm going to check my voltage through there. Okay. Okay. Yeah, let's check on the other side. Okay, 0 on the RO. That's what I believe I want. Okay, 8.2. Let's just check one back here. Okay. Should be 0. It is. There we go. Yep. Okay. Yeah, good. Okay, but when I check on this side, we got a problem. I got a problem there. Okay, so let's turn it off because it's getting warm. All right. It's a bummer when I put a chip in and it's not fixed. Oh. Looks like we're missing a chip or we're missing a resistor. We are. Yes, we are. Okay, we're missing. I guess that doesn't surprise me. That would cause a problem with the RO signal. We're missing. Let me flip over to the microscope. We're missing 184. Yeah. So I have a spreadsheet. Let me get into it and then I don't think, sadly, I don't have. Okay, so tonight you don't get to see the spreadsheet, but I have a spreadsheet that I use, that I made, where I took all the chips or all the resistors to every chip and I measured them, looked them up, did all kinds of fun things. Okay, so that is U17. I'm gonna move it. See, U17. So I go to my spreadsheet and I put U17 in there. And 184 is supposed to have a 33 ohm resistor. Guess what? If it doesn't have a 33 ohm resistor, then the signal will not flow through. And it's got to flow through. If it doesn't flow through, so this is the RO right here, the middle, right? And so it just gets to here and it stops. Well, if it stops, then it's not going to tell the chip to do anything. While I'm at it, let's just check the other resistors. Okay, so I believe 235, let me look. 235 is a 0 ohm resistor. Let's just make sure that that's how it measures. I clear the junk off the tip, apparently. Okay. That's interesting. Okay, there we go. 0 ohms. You can see that down the bottom. Now, I believe that R234 on this board is supposed to be a 10K. 10K, really? Okay, cool. 9.976K. Good enough. Cool. All right. Good, good, good. So probably what's wrong is that 184. Now I've got, save yourself some headache and get you a bag of these things, right? Get you a bag of 10K, or get you a reel of 10K, 33, that's 33. What did I need? A 184, I need a 33. I found these on Amazon, and I'm sorry, not Amazon. Don't buy them off of Amazon. Some of these I get from Mouser. Mouser's a little bit more expensive, but for me being in Texas, they get here faster. So usually I can get stuff the next day from Mouser if it comes out of the Dallas warehouse. All right. So grab my super duper. Let's see. I guess I can. Where's the best thing? So grab my super duper Meta Online tweezers. These are super ultra fine tweezers. If you look, you can see right there. See, they're smaller than the. Let's go back to the microscope. They're smaller than an 0201 resistor. Yeah, buddy. I like those. So anyway, the link to those is on my Brian Recommends page, which when I'm done with this today, I will update the notes for the show. But it's just brianrecommends.tech. There's no .com at the end. Don't put a .com. You'll be sad. All right. Peel that back. I'll look in the microscope because it's a lot easier for me. Set it on top of the chip because it's harder to lose. All right. And let me tell you what, if these things are like, I don't know, 3 or 4 cents a piece, if I knock it off, if I send it off to the nth dimension, I am not going to hunt for it. I'm going to get another one. The only time I hunt for resistors is when I trying to take measurements of them. In case you lost it, it's right there. Now it's stuck to my thing. Now it's on the side of the chip. Oh man, okay. This is how you send these little guys off into the nth dimension. Between flux and static electricity, that's just natural. Okay, cool. Whew. All right, it's sitting there being peaceful, happy. So what I'm going to do now, I'll zoom us in just a little bit, and then I'm going to try to fix the focus. What I really like is an auto-focusing camera. All right, a little bit of flux. When I say a little bit, I just mean like, I don't want to bury it. Okay, cool. All right, and just see if I could just heat the solder pads up. There we go. Probably with my King Kong size tip here. Let's see, I just want to add just a little bit more solder. There we go. All right, scrape my tip off in the brass there. Okay, now let's set this guy. Get him in place. Okay. Turn the fan off. All right, change my preset down to 350. All right, this is where I tend to put it around my neck. Although now that I moved it, it doesn't go around my neck as well. Just kind of keep my tweezers nearby. Settings are 350 and 40 out of 120 on my airspeed. Airspeed is going to have a lot to do with your tip on your air gun. I think if I was running a smaller tip, I would probably not need that much airspeed. Go watch Louis Rossmann. And he just does these things at like full blast. But he's also been doing micro soldering for a long time. Louis Rossmann is a good person to follow. There's another guy. What is his Art of Repair? Man, you want to see some amazing soldering work. Those guys rock. I feel like this one's just making my life miserable here. Can't seem to get it to flow right. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to add a little bit more flux. There we go. Ooh, just outside of your view, I bumped okay. Cool. There we go. It's flowing now. There. This one's got too much solder on it. Okay. All right. Whew. Real quick, little touch of the fan. Oh, darn it. Sorry. Turn that on. Okay. Okay. I can tap this just with I want to just make, see, I can just do that. Whoop, 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 whoop. I can also take a little bit of solder off of that one. There we go. Pretty. Okay. Oh, I know what this is from. Okay, I'll plug that in afterwards. I'm probably not going to use it. That's my desoldering station. Okay, so what we can do now, we can go to resistance, which we're good. We can go to, let me see if I can get it all in the frame. Okay, I can put it on there. And then I can go all the way to here. 33 ohms. Okay, so that tells me that it goes through the trace, through the resistor I just put in there. Let's see what that does for us, shall we? Put that back to voltage so I don't get myself in trouble. Tell you what, while we're here, let's do something I have not done on this project yet. Let's just look at our, okay, yeah, I guess that'll be the best way to do it. So I'm going to put my positive. First of all, I'm going to there we go. Okay. So I'm going to put the positive probe on the negative, the ground side. Let's see, where am I? See right there? That's effectively the same as putting it on top of the chip. I can put it on top of the chip. It's better for the picture. All right, 1.2, 1.1. This should be like 0.4. Okay, good. 1.2. I bet if I had measured that before, I would have caught the problem. Okay. I go to the other side. Let's go here. Uh, 1.07. That's lower than it should be. 1.0. 0.4 is right. 1.0. 1.0. So, okay, so there's probably something suspect there, but I don't see anything immediate. So let's just test it and we'll see where we get, right? So that in, leave my fan, my cooling fan on. Let's go back to the overhead, get that out of the way. I gotta get my spreadsheet out of my way too. Cool. Okay, tap, tap, tap. Good. Test, here we go. Oh, yeah, baby! 65 ASICs. Yeah! Woo! That's what we're talking about. 65 ASICs. Yeah, baby. Okay, so like throw it in there and start hashing with it, right? Oh hell no. That's not happening. We got a lot more tests to do. But this is good. So what do we do next? Well, since I don't have my screen set up for this, I'll kind of walk you through it. Let's turn this down. So really, first thing I do is I just kind of let it sit there and idle for a little bit. I watch that the amperage down at the bottom. A little over 5 amps is kind of an ideal. That means that the chips are probably not. Hello, Bandit, my cat there in the background. In case you couldn't hear him, he's coming in to tell me all about it. And you know what? You know what he says? You know what Bandit says? Bandit says that if you like the content you're seeing today, be sure to smash the like button, hit the subscribe, and click the notification bell so you too can be notified the next time I go live. Okay, 65 chips. I'm feeling pretty good. 5.5 amps. We're kind of staying there. Obviously, the longer the board gets hot, the more it's gonna pull. But we're not gonna pull a whole lot more. Yes, sir, Bandit. Okay. No, I don't have the cat cam up. Sorry, bud. Okay. Let's get back to it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop this, and there's a temperature. You can see, you should be able to, yeah, you can see my mouse there on my pointer down there in the bottom right-hand side where the Team Miner tester is, right? So that's the Thailand ASIC tester, Team Miner tester. So I can click on that temp, and the nice thing about the temp test is it will fire up the chips, and then it'll report back to me what the temperature values are. So it'll read through. And hot dog, all of them look really good. So this is good. This is a good sign. Let me see real quick. There's nothing like doing stuff that you haven't prepared for. Let's go see if I can do the Team Miner. Well, that's no good. How about I do this? I turn that off. I do this, and I say, is that the team? Nope, that's Team Miner. Let me unlock it so you can see it. We'll hide that. Cool. There you go. Okay, so there you can see the temperature sensors. Oh, yeah, that's good. I like that. So you can see what I'm talking about there, right? So you got the chip, you got the board temperature, and then you got the chip temperature. So this is really good. This is kind of what I expect. Yep. Okay, so this 15 here, let's just check. So that's going to be that's going to be the chip down there. Yep, heatsink's attached. All right, so that may be a weak chip. That number 15 might be weak because it's getting a little bit hotter than everybody else. But it's not bad. So I'll just let it go for now. Okay, so I'm gonna hit the stop on the tester, and I'm gonna go back to the overhead. Cool, cool, cool. So we did that, a little impromptu. The next part is really pretty boring, and that is that I need to actually go through every chip, and I need to look at every single chip. I'll do it under the microscope, and then I'll reflow any chip that looks suspicious. The reason why I'm not going to take it off, but I'll just reflow it because I want to make sure there's no solder balls or anything before I do the next step, which will be to put the little nuts on, and then I can put the unified heatsink on. And I'll actually do a cleaning on this board before I put the heatsink on there. I'll also take like this little guy's got a bump, so I'll take the solder bumps off. I'll just hit it with a solder wick and clean those off. So 2 chips replaced, and we have a working hashboard. Oh, let's do one other thing before we call it quits. Let's test. This tester has the ability to test, to chase the signals through. And the reason why cold water. The reason why I want to test the signals all the way through is because what I have noticed is that on 2 boards I repaired recently, right here, so this is 46 right there. Okay, so that's 46, and somewhere around 46 I lose some of my signals. So what we're going to do on my tester, I've got it set to test the CI signal. And so I'm just going to hit the start button. Sometimes you have to hit the start button twice on the tester. All right, 65 chips. I like it when it starts off that way. And I'm just going to go across the bottom. And you can see it down. It's kind of small. But if you look in the tester down here, you'll see right here, it'll say CO, and it'll tell you like CO equals no, right? So, but whenever I touch a CO and it says okay, good, says okay, good, okay, good. Now, FYI, if you've got this tester, oh, this is the same problem. I have this problem on pretty much every board I've repaired, and the problem will be because the CO is no good after 45. So the CO is no good. There, I'm testing 45 right now. If I come back here, I trace that back, CO is over here, or CI. CI is no good there. Come up here to this end. CI is okay after 40. Well, this feels like it's like the same old dance. Okay, CI is good there. No CI after 41. All right, let me write some notes. 65 ASICs. All right. Temp's okay. No CI after 41. Right? So let's test it again. We hit the start button. This is chip 40. That's CI. We got it. It says okay. I follow that through. No. Okay, so no CI after 41. And then I can change my test point to BI. And BI is on the other side. Okay, BI is good after 40. Let's check after 50. No BI after 50. Now let's see where this one breaks down. BI after 41, okay. BI after 42, okay. BI. Okay, just trying to get that one in there good. Make sure I'm actually getting it in the... Whew. Oh, that's fun. What is this? Okay, BI is good there. Okay, after 44 is good. Okay, following it through, BI after 45 is okay. BI after 46 is no. So no BI after 46. Okay, so these are the things I've got to sort out now. No BI after 46. Just for sometimes grins, I jump over to 47. Nope. Okay, no BI after 46. So those two now are going to be my suspect chips, 46 right here, and 41. So I'll just work on those two chips next. So give me a second. I don't have my be right back. So give me a second to get a sip of water because I'm really getting thirsty, and then we'll go ahead and dive on into those two chips. I might try to see if I can get the focus a little bit better while I'm at it. Okay, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Thanks for sticking with me, sticking with the video. Most likely you're watching this after the fact, and that's okay too, because you're just fast forwarding through. I don't blame you. What I'm doing real quick is I'm checking to make sure that we have the right resistors, because if we don't have the right resistors, that could be a problem. Okay, so I'm just going to check my spreadsheet real quick. Okay, yep, let's go back over to the microscope only. Oh yeah, I like that. All right, let me get my spreadsheet, which I did not have time, my quick little break, to fix so I could share my spreadsheet with you. All right, but that's okay. U75, cool. So 819 is supposed to be a 0, which it looks like it's there. 774 is missing. It's not supposed to be there. Good. 757 is supposed to be a 0 ohm. Okay. 787 is a 10K, which at least there's a resistor there. And our 798 is supposed to have one. It's a 33 ohm. Our 826 is not supposed to have a resistor. So that all looks good. Good. Okay. Let's just go check the other side. So our R794, yep, 33 ohm resistor. Our 822 is not supposed to have a resistor. 782 is supposed to have a 33, and 766 is supposed to have a resistor. Yeah, 33. So let's go ahead, because I did not, let me flip over to here so you can see the meter while I'm doing this. I'm just going to test these. I'm going to test these out and make sure that we actually have 33. Good. 33. Good. Nothing there. I think that's also supposed to be a 33. Good. Okay, so all those are good. Let's just check these 0 ohm guys over here. 0, 1 ohm is fine. Tell you what, there's enough lag. Looking on the screen, watching the stream is not conducive. Okay, so that's 0. All right, so this next one should be 10K. It's a crappy solder job right there. All right, maybe this is part of our problem. All right, so what I want to do, I want to go to this chip right here. Okay, yep, okay, so it looks like crap, but we'll touch it up in a second. It should be a 33 ohm. Huh? What the heck? R798 is supposed to be a 33 ohm resistor. Getting all kinds of weird numbers, but I am not getting 33 ohms. Ah, there we go. It's just, there's probably flux. It looks like there's some flux around there. All right, let's do this. Let me slap a little bit of flux on there. Gonna heat my flux up a little bit. Okay, there we go. Clean my tip, because if you have a tip already loaded with solder, it will make a mess. There we go. Ooh, look at that. Nice and pretty. Nice and pretty. Nice and pretty. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay, good. Next thing I want to do is just test the diodes, right? So I'm going to flip my meter over to diode mode. Turn the beeper off. All right, when I'm doing it. All right, and there's no good way to do this because the frame is not big enough. So, but I'm going to put the red lead on top of the chip, and then I'm going to look at them. I'm going to look at the test points, right? So 1.4 is too high. Yeah, definitely too high. So 0.6, way too high. So this is probably a bad chip. 1.3. Okay. If I check on the other side, I get 1.4, 1.4, 0.6, 1.4, and 1.4. So definitely a wonky chip. Kicker is, if I come over here, I see, if I test the next domain over, I get decent values. Now, interestingly enough, when you're testing the next domain over, and then you test where you got a bad chip, so like, here we go. Let's look at that, right? So you got the traces that come out of what I know is a good chip. And when I test, I get slightly high values, like 1.3. But when I test that same test point from the other chip, I get 1.4. So 41 has high diode values. High diodes. So we're going to just replace. I could mess with trying to reflow it, but that chip looks so dirty. So let's do it. Let's reflow. Now, just for fun, let's check real quick. Overhead bench. And let's just test. I want to test to make sure I still got 65 chips. Suck if I do. Okay, I still got 65 chips. Okay, good. I love it when that works. Makes me feel like I'm not completely screwing things up. Okay. So we're going to just mark a line. That way I know which one it is. And I'm going to move this out of the way for a second. Turn my fan off. And I'm going to go to my bench view because guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to hang it off. Oh, yeah. Take the power off. Because you do not want to solder when you have power on the board. That'd be bad. You might find yourself grounding your power supply out. Okay. Put that there. Grab this. Oh, yeah. By the way, turn on your solder sucker. Honestly, I don't care so much about it when I'm working with the hot air gun as I do when I'm working with the soldering iron. Okay, but we're going to be doing all of that in this next bit. So here we go. I'm going to give myself some light, and there it is. Cool. Okay. So this, because it's along here and it's about in the middle, I'm gonna have to work 90 degrees out of what I normally do, but that's okay. We'll make it work, right? Right? We can make it work. We can do this. Yeah, we can. Sure, we can. I can do it. I can do it. Okay. Got this set. Here we go. Now, these are the big heat sinks on this end of the board. Okay, these are the heat sinks that look like this. I mean, they're big monsters and they take a lot of heat. So, just, you got to be patient when you're doing these. Got perfect time to put that little, oh no, it's not, never mind. Hey, I wonder if this button works on my touch portal. Nope, still doesn't work. Okay. All right, well, let's get to it. All right, so the solder is starting to get loose on the top of the chip. As you can see, I'm reaching around from there. These are the easiest chips as far as where you place your air gun because you can see it pretty easy. Okay, looks like the solder's getting... Okay, I can see the chip wanting to come on. There it goes. Oh yeah. So this chip has never been pulled before. Because you see all the ugly. Okay, good, we've pulled it. You know, when you look and see chips like this, it's no wonder that the S17 boards have problems. So let's go to the microscope and we'll see what I'm talking about. Ugly. Okay. Just taking a little bit off. My guess, looking at this chip has never been replaced. Okay, all right. Let's get my solder wick. All right, and we'll put. I'm gonna use my Kester 186 solder for this, just because it is so terribly dirty. Okay. This mix has more alcohol in it, so it does tend to boil off a little bit quicker. But I'm also going to put my solder exhaust fan closer because this is going to stink. Remember, my my fume extractor is basically an AC Infinity 4-inch fan sitting up in the roof, exhausting outside. 4-inch flexible hose. Again, I think that's from AC Infinity 2 with a 4-inch funnel type thing from Wood River. It's called a 4-inch bell nozzle. So all that can be found on Amazon. I believe there's a video that I did where I gave all the links. I don't know if the links for those things are on my Brian Recommends .tech page. Okay, cool. Good. Yes. See how the Kester 186 flux. It says no clean, but man, look at how brown and dirty it gets. So it definitely needs cleaning, but it cleans up for desoldering. It cleans up so nice. So now I can take some alcohol on this Q-tip and just roll it. And the nice part about rolling it is it kind of helps to get the flux off. Now this stuff is so heavy on there, I'm going to have to do a little bit of scrubbing. See where the original copper, there's not been any solder on that pad. And we will fix that today. So this is what I don't like about the Team Miner tester. By the way, it is not on my recommended tools because unless you speak, I guess it's Thai, the language that they speak over in Thailand. Unless you speak that, you can pretty well forget about support. There's one nice guy. Pretty sure he's in Thailand. Over at the website, I think it's proasic.repair. But if you look at the website, the contact information is all broken. It doesn't work. And I was talking to him on Discord, but now he doesn't even respond on Discord. So don't waste your money on the Team Miner. I can't tell you how good the ARC tester is or the STASIC, but those are the ones that I really want. I think the STASIC probably has more features. Although the ARC tester is also getting better. It's got the probe like I've got with the Team Miner. Okay, cool. All right, there we go. We've cleaned up. Big positive for this pad because it's never been worked on before. You can see right there that the solder mask is the solder bridge or the mask bridge there is still good, so we won't have any problems with that. All right, let's go ahead now and put some regular MG chemical. No clean. It's 8341 flux on here, and see it's had time to cool down, so it doesn't flow as good. That's all right. Okay, so grab my soldering iron and give you guys motion sickness from shaking my table too much. Okay. Okay, now I'm just going to All right, there we go. The other reason why I like using a big wedge tip is because when you hit this one right here, where it does actually, where it is joined to the negative pad, the tip has enough heat in it that it won't just suck it all out of your iron. Now maybe if you're using an awesome Heiko iron or something, maybe that's not such a problem, or JCB. But I use my Xtronic and it works just fine. I just have to compensate for that little bit of a problem. Okay, so I knock off the solder there, and then I'm just going to touch it. Yep, cool. Now this one I want to put solder all over. Right, I want to get it, I want to cover that pad. I want it to be happy. So I will put a little bit on there. Okay, let's see. All right, that seems to be good. If I really wanted to get it all the way, I would probably have to take the heatsink off the back. Okay, good. There we go. Okay. I am going to clean this one more time. And the reason why I'm going to clean it one more time with a fresh Q-tip is because I want to minimize as much junk coming up from the other side as possible. Since this has never been replaced before, it doesn't look like it, you'll see it whenever I go to heat this up and put the chip on. There'll be some crud that comes up through these holes from the other side. So let's get it as clean as possible. Okay, good, cool. You know, that's not too bad. Of a little bit fuzzy. Not bad. Okay, so let me get my bag of chips. You can see me doing that on the top screen. So far I got, looks like, okay, so 3 chips so far is what I've replaced, or I'm replacing, in the process of replacing. Cool. All right, so we'll use this one. Put these back in. So, let me just see if I can flip this chip over and show you real quick. So this chip has already been tinned. You see how it's got solder. It's got little solder balls on spots. So, and it's got plenty of solder balls on the big pads. So it will join quite nicely with that. Okay, I'll flip it back over, get it in the right orientation. Okay, make it where I can. Okay, I'm going to just move that fan exhaust out of the way a little bit, get my cooling fan in place, put a little bit of flux on there. Okay. All right, here we go. So these tweezers, while I'm waiting, I'll show you these tweezers. So these are a pair of ESD15s, and I just bent the tips. I just bent the tips over, made my own bent. You don't have to buy those, just FYI. So took a set. See all that nasty flux coming out from underneath? But to have the bent tip like that is nice because it just helps to hold the chips on better. Okay. Push it down, so squeeze out some of that flux. All right, this is going to be one of those. I'm switching out tips. I'm going to my other tweezers because I probably put too much flux on. Okay, I probably could have waited a little bit longer to heat or to drop this chip. That's all right. Try not to touch the chip, because if you touch the chip while it's heating up, you're just going to act as a heat sink, especially with a set of metal tweezers. But sometimes you need to give it a little bit of a persuasion. Yep, I'm looking at my alignments. They're pretty good. Just need to get it to flow out some solder, make some balls on the traces. They're starting to come. Yeah, you can see the solder's getting flowy, melty there and there. We're getting there. Getting there, almost. Oh yeah, you can see across the bottom of the screen. Oh, there we go. Okay, I got a big ball right there. Let's get that ball out of the way. Cool. Okay. Put that on. Just put my guns. I put the hot air gun across my lap, pointing it out into Nowhereville. Blow on it to get some temperature, get that help things to settle down. Okay. So there's about a 1 second delay when I'm watching my microscope through OBS. It's really weird to move your hands like that and not see things move. Okay, I'm gonna flip back to the overhead, move back over here. Okay, let that cool off a little bit. Put a little bit more air on it. Turn my fume extractor off. I wish my fume extractor just had like an on-off switch, right? But it has this semi-intelligent push button. One button allows you to turn the speed up to 10, as well as you press and hold it long enough and it'll eventually shut off. So, okay. It's cooling off. While it's cooling off, we can go over back to diode mode test. Remember the positive goes to the top of the chip. Oh, look at that, 1.2. 1.2 should be 0.4. Oh, look at that 0.4. 1.19 is right, and then 1.2. Good. Let's check the other side. Okay. I have not figured out with this meter why sometimes it spikes up like that, like it just did. My old fluke didn't do that, but I wanted something I could more easily patch into my stream, so that's why I'm using this O-wand. It's not bad. It works. Just have to learn the behavior. Okay, 1.2 and 1.2. Cool. All right, so I feel good about this chip. All right. Man, tell you what, I'm gonna mute, grab a sip of water, and then we're gonna test. Oh, that was fun. I was talking to myself, and I had like great things to say. Not really. I was just talking to myself. Okay, so let's get the negative connected, and let's get the data cable plugged in. Yep. And then we'll grab the positive. Oh, y'all can't see that. Okay, there it is. There we go. Okay. And then I'll plug the positive in, and let's see if we still have 65 chips. Yay, we have 65 chips. Okay, so now CI was our problem. So let me go back to CI, change my test point to CI. Now you notice in the bottom right, it tells me CI. So I can check. I'm going to check at 40. 40 is good. No good. Okay. Nope. 42 is no good. Yep. Same problem as before. That sucks. So what I've learned is that when I don't have CI and BI all the way through, then my temperature sensors don't tend to work. So even though it says 65, it's going to fail when I put it in a miner. Let's check the BI, see if the BI has changed. Man, that's kind of feeling warm there. Okay, cool. Okay, BI is good at 45, but when I go to 46, oh, look at that. I got BI at 46. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, let's jump to BI at 50. Uh-oh. I got BI at 50. Okay. Now that's interesting. Let's go to BI at 60. Huh. Okay, so there's something going on here. Okay, so BI is good through 49. But when I test BI at 50, it causes me to get 64 chips, right? So it tells me 64 is red. I don't think 64 is actually a bad chip. Okay, there we go. All right, let's go check while we're at it. Let's check BI after 55. See, that's interesting because now when I'm testing at BI, I'm getting 55's no good. So, okay, let's go here. Really weird how that works. BI at 50. Okay, so probably 51 is no good. Okay, BI is good at 50. All right, so let me write all that down. 65 ASICs. BI through 50. But drops to 64 ASICs. So this is the kind of stuff that I wish I could actually ask, right? This is the kind of stuff you'd want support for. Hey, when I do this and your tester tells me, no, it doesn't do that. Okay. But, you know, when you test and BI then drops the chip count, what does that mean? All right. Yeah, like there we go. Ah, it freaks out. Okay. So what the heck does that mean? I'm pretty sure chip 64 is not bad. Okay. All right. So BI is suspect after 50. So I'm gonna write down sus 51. Okay, then I'm gonna go back, change my test point back to CI. And I'm just gonna check. I've got CI is good at 40. CI, oh, now CI is good at 41. Okay, maybe I just didn't have it in the hole. Okay, CI is good to, okay, this is good. CI is good to 45. Okay, CI is not good at 46, so. I feel like now this is the story of my life. I got two other boards that were behaving just like this. Okay. All right, so turn that off. CI. Through 45. Fails after 46. Okay, so there we go. So let me go see. I'm pretty sure I've got notes on another card. Let's go see here. Let me go see. Oh yeah, hey, here's no BI after 51, BI good at 50. No CI after 46, CI good at 45. So there you go. That's my notes. And when I get this scenario right here, I put it in the miner, it's going to tell me that it loses sensors 2 and 3. I'm going to get no updates on those temp sensors, and it's going to fail. So this is a board. This is the same board results that I got with another hashboard. So I now have like 3 boards with the same problem. How long have I been streaming? Because, oh my God, I've been doing for 2 hours? No way. Okay, yep. Wow. Okay. I am calling it quits for now. This is the same problem I've had multiple times. I get stuck in this situation and I don't know what to do. So I am going to call it quits. Thank you for watching. If you've made it all the way through to the end of today, we got 65 chips. That's a good sign. But we've got the same annoying problem that I've had before. 51 is a problem. 46 is a problem. So I will let you know what I find out maybe in the next stream. All right. Thanks again for watching. Remember, if you like this content, if today was fun, give me a like. It helps the algorithm. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you want to be notified when videos come out. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful